Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom lakam, which is peace unto you. Nakna waha bar, yasha Allah hawalakim la atam, call shabawai baharacha wa kaksha yahawah bahasham yahweh shah ma'amath, which is certainly hey with the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh bahasham yahweh shah to preach to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, and Israelite foreigners. Nachamatam, Kaya, Hamalak Wath Hashemayim, Korah, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Call Laim La, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash, Wama Shana, Kabadim Zukwayim Nawa, Wama La'akim Shaw, Yashala Zukwayim Chagarawa, Wachasa, Washalawam, Wabrakim Laha, Bacharim Shawha, Kawayashah Shalom. So all praise to the Most High Yahweh, which means He exists. Bahasham, and the name Yahweh Shah, He delivers double honors to the elders and apostles of Israel, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and mercy, peace, and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom, which means peace. All right, so I was checking out this book titled Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. All right, and it has a stamp of, says confidential top secret. All right, but I wanted to read an excerpt out of here. All right, and it reads, it says, descriptive introduction of the silent weapon. All right. And it says, everything that is expected from an ordinary weapon is expected from a silent weapon by its creators, but only in its own manner of functioning. It shoots situations instead of bullets. You see, because with a regular weapon, you essentially like a regular weapon, you think of, when you think of it in your mind, it's like, all right, a sword, that's physical, you can see it. All right, all right, an arrow, you can shoot an arrow. All right, you can see it, it's physical. All right, but I'm gonna keep reading. It says it shoots situations instead of bullets. It says propelled by data processing instead of chemical reaction explosion, originating from bits of data instead of grains of gunpowder. You see, because gunpowder, bullets, those are things that you can see physically. All right, and then it says data and processing, and then it had it says data processing, and then situations, because we in the digital age, social media, that's a weapon that's shot at the perfect, roughly paraphrasing like we got here in Thahalium Psalm 64. All right, but continuing on in this excerpt, it says, operated by a computer programmer instead of a marksman, under the orders of a banking magnate instead of a military general. It says it makes no obvious explosive noises, causes no obvious physical or mental injuries, and does not obviously interfere with anyone's daily social life. All right, these are going into the silent weapons. All right, and the quiet war. Going back to the book's title, it's the silent weapons for quiet wars. All right, so I'm gonna keep reading. It says yet it makes an unmistakable noise, in quotations, causes unmistakable physical and mental damage, and unmistakably interferes with daily social life, i.e., unmistakable to a trained observer, one who knows what to look for. All right, and the top paragraph that I just read before this one, it said it doesn't show any physical or mental injuries, and that's because the masses are not paying attention. You see, that's why the elites call them goyim, which goes into cattle, But nevertheless, continuing on, it says the public cannot comprehend this weapon and therefore cannot believe cannot believe that they are being attacked and subdued by a weapon. The public might instinctively feel that something is wrong, but because of the technical nature of the silent weapon, they cannot express their feeling in a rational way or handle the problem with intelligence. Therefore, they do not know how to cry for help and do not know how to associate with others to defend themselves against it. When a silent weapon is applied gradually to the public adjusts and adapts to its presence and learns to tolerate its encroachment on their lives until the pressure, psychological via economic, becomes too great and they crack up, going into like the situation with the boiling frog, or the frog in the boiling water, because that frog in that water, he can't perceive that the water is actually getting hotter, and those without the understanding, you see, they're essentially those boiling frogs. So it says, therefore, the silent weapon is a type of biological warfare. It attacks the vitality, which vitality is something that's vital. That means it has life, options, and mobility of the individuals of a society by knowing, understanding, manipulating, and attacking their sources of natural and social energy and their physical, mental, emotional strengths and weaknesses, you see. So how this looks, all right, it says natural, all right. Esau puts stuff into the air, it goes into your system. All right, also pretty much puts the chemtrails, with the food that goes into uh, nature, which is the natural, which nature goes into life. Social energy, all right, social media, all right, that pretty much deprives people of regular social interactions because mankind was made to socially interact. That's why we have two ears and one mouth, to socially interact. you know it says in their physical, mental, and emotional strengths and weaknesses. So Esau plays on these things, and essentially going into this is him shooting, because right here it says, I'm gonna read it again. It says everything that is expected from an ordinary weapon is expected from a silent weapon by its creators, but only in its own manner of functioning. It shoots situations instead of bullets. All right, and that's essentially the point that I wanted to get. So I'm going to go ahead and read this. This is the Holyum Psalm, chapter 64, and verse 1. It says, a psalm of David, hear my voice, O power, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. I'm going to get this in another version. All right, in LT it says, a psalm of David, O power, listen to my complaint. Protect my life from the enemy's threats. All right, and essentially these threats, all right, represents his plans. All right. They represent his plans because he has a silent war, or he has silent weapons that he's using in this quiet war. All right, because going back to this is Barash, the Genesis chapter 27 and verse 41. It says, and Ishah hated Ya'iqua because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Ishah said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Ya'iqua. All right. So that's essentially his plan. So going back to this, it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Because, going into this book, and many more, pretty much goes into their plans and stuff like that. They pretty much, they liken everything to an energy system. All right. And they pretty much break it down. Going into this right here in verse 6, it says that this devil's heart is deep, so he pretty much equates different things to how he runs this society, so pretty much going into the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, you see, because being that his heart is deep, he's used the different methods and ways that he's learned from nature and life, and doing his research from ancient kingdoms. This devil has applied this knowledge to present day. So it says, who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. I'm gonna read this again. All right, it's a lot. And it says, it's a lot. It says, everything that is expected from an ordinary weapon is expected from a silent weapon by its creators, but only in its own manner of functioning. It shoots situations. All right, so reading this again, it says, who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. All right, because it says bitter words, because ultimately going to the laws and legislations. The laws and legislations is set chiefly against Jake. All right, to entrap Jake. All right, that's how they shoot, their silent weapons. It says, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Them shooting in secret. All right, going into it says silent weapons for quiet wars. All right, when you do something quiet, like when you say something on the hush hush or something, or so to speak, pretty much you're trying to do it in secret. So that's them doing it in secret. Says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. All right, and the perfect represent the tribes. Are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, West Indian Sapiens, and Israelite foreigners? All right, it says, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They don't care, because it's essentially their plan. Going back to Barash, the Genesis chapter 27 and verse 41. It says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. The heart is this devil, going into his mind. Halab, the heart, all right, the mind is deep, all right, and it means unsearchable. You see, so he has went far lengths. All right, I'm gonna read this. This is Ephesians chapter 6. When we start at verse 10, it says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. All right, because essentially it says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. All right, going into those wars. All right, the wiles, the tricks, the trickery of this devil, because how he does, he never fights, one-on-one. There's a video that just surfaced, You know, pretty much it was a Jake. It was a Jake. You know, he whipped like 7 Edomites' ass. You know, so Esau understands that he can't win. He can't win one-on-one. He has to use trickery and deception. You know, so it was 7 of them. You know, so he understands that he can't win. He can't win traditionally. He has to resort to the sword. He has to resort to secret silent weapons and secret wars. He has to resort to witchcraft. He has to resort to his mind being deep. He has to use his mind, you know, excessively. That's why it says unsearchable. You know, and when you think about something being deep, you know, water is deep. So this devil's heart is unsearchable. All right. So nevertheless, continuing on, says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. All right, ultimately going into the least. You know, they're communing with, you know, these demons. All right, because essentially, how they run this society. All right, all of it goes back to some type of left hand witchcraft or sorcery. Sorcery. So it says, wherefore take on unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand, stand therefore. It says, stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit. All right, which ultimately, what it says right here, it says, which is the word of the Most High, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. All right, and this is why we have to stay, you know, prayed up. You know, the Lord said, you know, he hoped that all men pray and not faint. Roughly paraphrasing, you see, because this is a spiritual battle. You know, that's why, again, going into the title of that book, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. It's not something that, oh, you can see it. You know, you got to be in the spirit to see it. Now, I'm going to get this and I'm going to close it out. This is Yeshaya, Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 1. It says, arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. All right. Ha-chashak. All right. Which ha-chashak means the darkness. All right. So obscurity. When we go into this word darkness, it says obscurity. All right. Going back to what it said in that book, it said that essentially, roughly paraphrasing, those that can perceive what's going on, they know what to look for. All right, they'll understand the war, but those that's in the masses, they're not really going to understand. They're going to feel it, but they're not going to understand. So it says secret place. All right, shoot in secret at the perfect. All right, because it's a war in front of everybody's eyes, but you got to have the eyes to see it. You know, and 2/3 don't have the eyes to see it. You know, and the elect has been blessed with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So it says, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people, but the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. All right. Let me get another one. This is Yeshaya, Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 14. It says, and judgment is turned away backward, and justice standeth afar off, for truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. All right, you don't see any equity, all right, in this earth, because the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. All right, he covered the faces of the judges thereof. I'm gonna get that, Lord's will. So it says, and equity cannot enter, yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and that displeased him, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. And it says, he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. It was a book, something else that I was reading, but pretty much, he makes himself a prey because they got something called a thought crime. All right, so essentially, being that 2/3 is in the darkness. All right, going back to this this quiet war, you know, 2/3 are in the darkness. So those that have the righteous thoughts, all right, you to this devil, you shouldn't have righteous thoughts. You know, you should be thinking about what he's giving you. You see, but you know, for the elect, that's not the case. That's why this devil is in so much of an uproar, because he has went great lengths to hide this truth. You know, but nevertheless, you know, pretty much, again, those that have those righteous thoughts, they make themselves a prey because they stand out. You know. Now I'm gonna get this. This is Ayawab, Job chapter 9 and verse 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So if it wasn't Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, all right, who else would it be? You see, because going back into the time of the Renaissance, he covered the faces of the judges thereof, being the Most High Yahweh, all right, the Son, Yahweh Shah, all right, and then the Israelites, all right. So covering the faces, all right, pretty much, when you go into this word cover, it says kasa, all right, H3680, to conceal, to hide, to spread over, all right. So it went to how he covered the images, but then also how it covered the faces, all right, covered the faces of the judges thereof. Also, what what the men of the Lord represent, what the Lord represents, you know, they covered over that as well, you know. So I just wanted to go into that, you know. It's a spiritual battle, you know, because essentially the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, which represents the elites, you see. So Adawan Ratazah, Zabanaya Pa, Lord's will does a beautiful edification through the spirit. While Adawan Ratazah, Atham Yashlayala Tawab, a Lord's will. You all have a good night. Wa Shalom Lakam, a peace unto you all. Shalom, shalom.